Hello, this is May or May Not Be a Human. So we're back, in our game that we were playing earlier. I raised the settings so that they're a bit better. So last time we finished getting all the mass extractors. We made one factory of each type, and now our goal is to upgrade everything that we own to Tech 2. Now, the minimum requirement to upgrade a Tech 2 air factory by itself is 3 mass per second and 80 energy per second, and we definitely have that. And we might even be able to stand to have him assist the factory in the process. And we'll just see how quickly this goes. This is very important because we can get Tech 2 engineers from the factory, which allow us to build Tech 2 things, and that's very, very handy to have. Well, let's go ahead and have him assist as well, since we have the choice to. I don't see any reason why not. Our defenses are reasonable enough. We have mass extractors everywhere. Now, if the graphics look a bit soft, or it's because I just upped the settings so they're really, really high quality. I'm not sure if that's what anti-aliasing does, but I know I increased that a bit, so yeah. Here we go. See, look how fast that's going, and it's not even really affecting our energy at all. Now, once this is done, which will be very soon, we can let's just move this over here. That's bothering me for some reason. And from now on, we'll have to move things over here. Now. It's almost done, almost done. Come on, hurry up. Now let's see how much this costs to upgrade. 5 mass per second and 40 energy per second. So it's not quite as bad as the Tech 2 air factory. Let's go ahead and add that upgrade as well. We're gonna have this make a Tech 2 engineer, which is minus 6 mass per second and 45 energy per second. We've got plenty of that. Look how fast that is. Now, a more pressing thing that we need to do is get Tech 2 defenses, and we can mess around with stuff from there. Let's see how quick this is. It does quite a lot of energy per second, but I think that we can actually upgrade our point defenses somewhat. So let's go ahead and make 4 of these because we can. And make another one. While we're at it, let's go ahead and upgrade this to a Tech 2. I don't particularly like using naval. That's just me. That's because, I've had bad experiences with the pathing for the naval units. They like to spaz the heck out, per se. So yeah, that's my major reason. Alright, 4 of these. When we're done with that, you can make some more over here. Why not? As for you, I'm going to reclaim you. Because you're not going to be worthwhile anymore. Now, we've got somewhat stable economy at this time. However, we're going to be needing more power generators quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and assign my ACU to add 2 power generators to everything. We're going to start running out of power if I don't do that. Normally I would send a maintenance unit to do this, an engineer. It doesn't really matter because the ACUs have really, really high attack power. However, if my opponent is upgrading to Tech 2, I probably want to avoid using my ACU to go around the world at this point. However, I've found that an ACU can destroy a Tech 3 gunship extraordinarily quickly. You wouldn't even believe. So let's see. These dash lines are the anti-air and the solid. At least I think so. Ah, there we go. So the dash lines are the turrets then. I don't see how that makes sense, but you can see that it's for a point defense it's got really high range compared to these. These have about the same range as the original anti-air, but they have some crazy attack power. They're basically like they do the same thing that the Cybern bombers do, which is shoot these little bomblets and that explode on contact and cover a wide area of damage. I'm going to pause this guy. And pause. We're going to be needing some mass, not the low-level mass fabricators, because they're next to useless, but we're going to be needing some higher-level mass extractors soon. In fact, this guy's going to be done soon, so when he's done, I'm going to send him to upgrade one of these mass extractors, and that costs 60 energy per second and 10 mass per second. So let's see how much we can. So basically, we would have already had to have a minimum of 10 other mass extractors in order for this to work. Thank goodness we already do. Wait, let's see, do we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not including this. So yeah, basically have the perfect amount. And that would be if nothing else was building anything. So I'm gonna have to. Unfortunately, it cancels all of its extractor production while it's massive production while it's doing so. So it's kind of obnoxious in that way. However, I'm going to send this Tech 2 engineer over here to help. Got some decent defenses. Now keep in mind that I still would be building with these, so I might be canceling some of this other stuff I've been working on to help with the building that I would be doing to attack. During this entire process, I would just be attacking the enemy base constantly with bombers and tanks, because they're the quickest things to produce that cause the most destruction possible for the shortest amount of time. So let's just check and see what the requirements are to build a Tech 1 bomber. We would need 120 energy per second, which wouldn't be too bad, and 6 mass per second, so I would have had to have 6 mass extractors not being used. And then, to make a normal tank, I would need... that's awfully high. I would probably... oh gosh, that's the exact same. I'd probably just be doing bombers for the time being because they're so cheap. I don't even know why they bother to make these other kinds if they're so expensive for a land unit. I think it would be the other way around. Air units would be more expensive. But it's probably because they're amphibious. We might chance a couple of light tanks here and there, but I probably wouldn't risk it. So this thing's done. That's great. I'm going to have this upgrade as well. And I'm going to set this guy building once more. And I'm going to have him build another 4 point defenses over here. The anti-air flak artillery are really useful. these anti-air turrets tend to miss a lot, and compared to the accuracy is actually worse on this, but because they cause so much damage, and over such a wide area, they're totally worth using. Tech 3 is even better. They have like anti-air SAM launchers, which are like these homing missiles. At least I think they're homing missiles, and they do area damage as well. So it's all useful. At this point, I can set these things to upgrade themselves without really having much issues. Thank goodness they can do that, because I don't want to have to send an engineer over every single little area. So I've upgraded all my factories to Tech 2. I think this is already at Tech 2 as well. Yes, it is. Haven't made any units so far, besides these interceptors for defense. It's gonna be done soon. Yes, he is. Here we go. Tech 2. I wish this wasn't so slow, but I don't feel like I have much of a choice in the matter, in all honesty. I want to keep my constant stream of attacks going whilst defending my base and upgrading stuff constantly. Now you may be wondering why I haven't sent many maintenance workers out to the fields yet, and that is because I want to... Sorry, that must be annoying you. I want to be able to create little complexes later on, once I have really, really solid defenses, Tech 3 even. I want to create complexes for energy and mass. And I'm going to have defenses around each one, all whilst sending a constant stream of attack bombers over, and some tanks occasionally. These are really expensive. The destroyers and even the most basic things are pretty expensive, for the naval units. Although now that I think about it, this frigate has almost the same cost as a normal tank, which I think is honestly pretty stupid. I don't know why they did it like that. It's got the exact same mass cost per second, although it takes longer to build, and it has only about half of the energy cost. I mean, these little attack boats cost less than that. Effectively costs less than that stupid tank does. Alright, he's done. Let's have him assist. What shall we have him assist? I think this is done upgrading. It is. Reset this to start. Oh, that's already Tech 2 as well. Doing pretty well. You know what we can do? We can start upgrading our ACU. Now this is done, and it's constructed some solid defenses, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to create our first hydrocarbon base. Now this is, although it may sound like it's useless, it's actually pretty helpful. Hydrocarbon plants are giving much more stuff than the basic power generator does for little cost. And it's worth, at this point, building energy storage units and mass energy units, so that in case you ever start wanting to build experimental units, you can do so. Now, you have to do this quickly. I'm going to also build some mass fabricators, just because the amount that they take up isn't too much in comparison. Power generators. I like to think of this as my basic energy base. Now I'm also going to set it up with some pretty high anti-air and point defense, because these things are pretty useful. So I'm going to set up my anti-air. This will take this engineer quite a while to finish, let me tell you what. Just set it up with point defense, See, this is, if you can see all the numbers, this is going to take it about 10 minutes to finish. Which is not ideal, actually. It could be less. But I think in the long run it'll be useful, and it gives that engineer something to do. Now where is my other idle engineer? Here you are. Okay. So we've got our basic energy base. Now the next thing we're gonna need is our basic mass production base. And here's what I like to do for my basic mass production base. I like to create some energy generators with mass fabricators in between, and I like to have mass storage units on either side, like this. Now that's going to take about 8 minutes to complete, and this is even without giving it any basic defense. Now, because of how volatile power generators are, it's really good at this point to start setting up your first shield generators. And I'm going to do that right now, because if there's one thing you do not want happening, it's having your energy generators blow up in your face and destroying all your crap. Now, in terms of military, these things cover a really wide area. I'm not really sure that I actually need any more defense when it comes to Tech 2, but just to be safe, I'm gonna go ahead and have him finish building some more things. 2, 3, there. That should be enough for now. As you can see, it's taken quite a while for him to finish building this stuff. Now, now let's look at some of the upgrades my ACU can get. Heat sink augmentation, personal shield, personal teleporter, resource allocation, chrono dampener. My favorite is the shield. I like using my ACU as a weapon, and they're not easily destroyed if you upgrade them to the highest extent that you can. Now, my Tech 3 mass station is much better than the one I've set up so far. Just keep that in mind. At this point, I could probably start upgrading all of my Tech 2 mass things at once. This is not Tech 2. Will that take too much? It might. That's probably enough for now. Now it's all that's left to do is wait. What can I do? I'm gonna have him assist this. Even though it'll cost more, it'll speed up the process a bit. And I don't think it'll deplete our resources entirely. Let's just see how it works. Ooh, gosh. Oh, okay. It's not quite as fast as I thought it was going to be, so it's alright. At this point, I could probably start having these patrol, just for fun. Because because our base is getting big enough that it would require us to do that. We need to take out any scouts that come nearby. Speaking of which, we're going to, next thing we're going to do is build a that's already Tech 2. Which ones do I have that aren't Tech 2? I have that one, that's Tech 2, that's Tech 2, that's Tech 2, that's Tech 2. What was my last one? That is Tech 2. That is Tech 2. This is not Tech 2. And that's all of them for now, except for all these. And I have enough mass that I can go ahead and have most of them upgrade themselves. Now, I should probably be making use of this ACU because they're best for the. Whoops! What did I just do? Oh well. Their best potential is in the fact that they can, at least for Aeon, my favorite part about Aeon is the amount that they can use their ACU for combat purposes. So I always like to send in my ACU all gung-ho style. Also, when they blow up, they destroy a huge area. And it's almost as big as a strategic missile, which means that from the start you have the potential to have a strategic missile blow up in your enemy's base right when they least expect it. Now, the reason why Aeon uses this to the utmost potential is because they have a personal teleporter, which means you can instantly teleport to your opponent's base and blow up before he even realizes what just happened. At the cost of a lot of energy, of course. And in some versions, of course, you're automatically going to lose the game if you do that. However, I usually like to play on Supremacy, which means I think that's the one where you have to destroy every unit your opponent has, and that's always a good strategy to use. These are Tech 2. All of them are Tech 2. Now I've got a pretty nice supply of mass coming in. I'm going to upgrade my final. Unfortunately, you can't upgrade power generators because they grow bigger every time you upgrade them. See, this is the Tech 2. It's much bigger, you can't do it. I'm gonna have my ACU assist him because this is taking simply too long. And at this point, I have enough mass that I can risk it. You'll remember last time I had dozens of engineers surrounding my ACU and having all of them working on the same thing. It's ideal not to have to do that because it takes up so much of your resources. Now look, see how quickly I'm getting stuff right now. These things give 500 per thing, as opposed to this, which only gives 20. So that's 500 divided by 20 is 225, I think that's right, because 2 goes into 50 25 times. So that means that this Tech 2 power generator produces 25 times the amount of energy that this thing produces. That's 250% as much energy. And that's simply fantastic. Now you'll see how much that increased my maximum mass capacity by. It still hasn't even caught up yet. Now you'll see here, these produce more mass because they're next to this. However, all over, they cost less. They cost 10% less. 5% for each of these. Each of these costs 10% less because they're next to these two power generators. So that's nice. It means that they're much more efficient. Wow. Now, the Aeon shield generators are really good. They're small compared to the other shield generators, but they're the best out of all of them. I believe they withstand more damage. At least that's what I'd like to think. I haven't actually looked at the statistics about that. You'd think such a cool-looking alien-type technology would have awesome shield generators. Alright. Now, almost done. Well, this guy over here is barely even started. Of course, it's to be expected. I thought that these would link up, but they don't. I thought that it would decrease the cost of energy for the mass fabricator, but it doesn't at all. Oh well. It's got these power generators, so it should be fine. What I should have done is switch these, put a power generator there, and then put 2 mass fabricators next to it. That's alright though. I believe all my mass extractors have been upgraded, and I've got a really stable economy. I'd consider now to be done with my most basic defenses. However, I'd consider this energy supplements over here extra because I seem to have messed them up. So that's fine. Now, one more thing that's an extra that's very useful to have that I'm going to build in a second is to have an air staging facility, which allows your units to refuel. Now you'll see they're growing slower because they've run out of energy. So I'm gonna shift their patrol thing here so that they can refuel after they've done a long patrol session. And that's the idea. Basically, these things will be useless because they're so slow right now. Just for kicks, I'm gonna go ahead and build a scout and have him patrol. Just because I feel like doing it. Sorry if my voice sounds a bit raspy. I've felt a bit ill today. Alright, now I'm gonna have him patrol there, and then have him patrol all around. This is good for intel. I believe you can press T to track. You could zoom in and see what your opponent's building, which at the time is nothing because I don't have an opponent. Now, when I look at my economy, each of these takes 150 energy per second. So you basically need to have either 30 Tech 1 power generators or 1 Tech 2 power generator to support 2 shield generators. Just a little tidbit of knowledge there for you. Turning that economy off now. I thought for sure I had ordered it to build 3. Oh well. Now it's building the air staging facility. I believe air staging facilities cost fuel to upgrade, or cost energy to fuel the planes, but I don't know. Maybe it doesn't cost anything at all. These poor Tech 2 engineers taking forever to build this. If this had been a real thing, I probably should have sent my ACU over to assist this one because it's closer to the enemy and more danger of being hit. if I got the scout to do it properly. Let's check. I hope that means it is working. Alright. The military seems good. My economy is doing swell. My mass production is off the charts. I think I'll see you guys next time. I'll just leave him building this for the time being. Thanks for watching. Watch my next video for the Tech 3 advancement in my series. Thanks for watching. Bye.